Welcome to Kev's Quizzes. In this quiz, you'll face 100 general knowledge questions. But there's one twist. Every answer starts with the letter C. So test yourself, have fun and good luck. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any new quizzes. Question 1. What is the fastest land animal on Earth? It's the cheetah. And question 2. What is the name of the largest area of the human brain? The largest part of the human brain is the cerebrum. Question 3. Who wrote the Canterbury Tales? They were written by Geoffrey Chaucer. Question 4. What is the capital city of Australia? It's Canberra. Next is question 5. What is an artificial barrier or obstacle on a motor racing course called? That's a chicane. Question 6. Silicon Valley is located in which US state? You would find it in California. Question 7. On which temperature scale does water freeze at 0 degrees and boil at 100 degrees? That is on the Celsius scale. And question 8. In music, what term describes 3 or more notes played at the same time? Three or more notes played together form a chord. Question 9. Which art movement was founded by Georges Braque and Pablo Picasso? That was Cubism. On to question 10. What is the medical name for the collarbone? It's the clavicle. Question 11. The suffix polis, as in Minneapolis, comes from Greek and means what? The Greek word polis simply means city. Question 12. Which everyday item was originally invented as medicine? Coca-Cola was originally sold as a medicinal tonic before becoming a soft drink. Question 13. What is a period of 100 years called? It's a century. Next is question 14. Can you name the tool used to open a bottle of wine? The tool is called a corkscrew. Question 15. Which vegetable has the highest water content? That would be a cucumber. Question 16. Which woodwind instrument does Squidward Tentacles play in the SpongeBob SquarePants show? That's a clarinet. 17. What name is given to fruit stewed or preserved in syrup? It is called a compote. Question 18. Diamonds are made up of which chemical element? The correct answer is carbon. Question 19. Which important colour used in printing is a shade of greenish blue? The shade of greenish blue is cyan. Question 20. Which fish has the most taste buds of any animal? It is the catfish, which is covered in over 175,000 taste buds located all over its body. Question 21. Phnom Penh is a capital of which country? It is a capital of Cambodia. Question 22. What famous Egyptian queen had relationship with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony? The Egyptian queen was Cleopatra. Question 23. What other metal is mixed with tin to produce bronze? Bronze is made by mixing tin with copper. And question 24. The longest bridge in the world is located in which country? You would find it in China. It is the Danyang-Kunshan Grand Bridge. Question 25. Arabica and Robusta are both types of what? They are both types of coffee. Question 26. Which of Santa's reindeer shares its name with a mythological god? The reindeer is Cupid, named after the Roman god of love. Question 27. Rodeo is the national sport of which South American country? That is the national sport of Chile. Next, question 28. What element is the main component of bones and teeth? That is calcium. On to question 29. Which 1960s band was formed by Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce? The band was Cream, one of the most influential rock supergroups of the 60s. Question 30. What word is used to refer to the keeper or custodian of a museum or art gallery? That's a curator. Question 31. What name is given to a scientist who studies the origin and structure of the universe? A cosmologist studies the origin, structure, and evolution of the universe. And question 32. Bobby Riggs famously lost a tennis match to Billie Jean King in September 1973. Which other female tennis legend did he defeat in May of the same year? That was Margaret Court. Question 33. What is the practice or science of drawing maps called? It's cartography. Next is question 34. Belgian Blue and Dwarf Lulu are breeds of what farmyard animal? They are breeds of cattle. Question 35. What name is given to a substance that speeds up a chemical reaction but remains unchanged? That's called a catalyst. Question 36. What name is given to a freestanding bell tower? It's a campanile. Question 37. Which river flows through the Grand Canyon? That's the Colorado River. Question 38. What Caribbean island nation has Havana as its capital? Havana is the capital of Cuba. Question 39. Which sport takes place in a velodrome? The sport is cycling. Now question 40. What is the name of the expanse of water between New Zealand's North and South Islands? The stretch of water between the islands is Cook Strait. Question 41. What do you call the loudest point reached in a gradually increasing sound? It's called a crescendo. Question 42. Who had worldwide success in 2024 with the song Espresso? That was Sabrina Carpenter. Question 43. What name is given to the cocktail made from rum, lime and cola? This cocktail is called a Cuba Libre, a classic drink that originated in Havana around 1900. Next is question 44. The Volga, Europe's longest river, empties into which body of water? It empties into the Caspian Sea. And question 45. What is the name of the astronomer who proposed that the Earth orbits the Sun? He was called Copernicus. Question 46. Life, Love, Cows is the French translation of which 1991 American comedy Western film? The film is City Slickers, a comedy western starring Billy Crystal. Question 47. What espresso-based coffee drink is traditionally made with steamed milk and a layer of milk foam? The coffee drink is cappuccino. Next is question 48. Which superhero is the alter ego of Selina Kyle? That's Catwoman. Question 49. What was built first, Colosseum or Chichen Itza? The Colosseum was built first, having been completed in 80 AD, while the major structures of Chichen Itza were constructed centuries later. Question 50. With reference to emails, what does CC stand for? CC stands for carbon copy. You've made it to the halfway point. If you're liking the quiz, give that like button a click. And question 51. Which company made the Amiga computer? It was produced by Commodore. Question 52. What was the last pitched battle on British soil? It was the Battle of Culloden, fought on April 16, 1746. Question 53. What green pigment in plants is responsible for absorbing light energy for photosynthesis? The answer is chlorophyll. Question 54. Who was the first person to be born according to the Bible? Cain was the firstborn son of Adam and Eve, born on the sixth day of creation. Next is question 55. What is the linear distance around the outside of a circle called? It's the circumference. Question 56. In Greek mythology, what creature has the upper body of a human and the lower body of a horse? The creature is the centaur. Question 57. With what is sulfur and saltpeter mixed to make gunpowder? Gunpowder is made by mixing sulfur and saltpeter with charcoal. And question 58. By volume, what is Cuba's biggest exported goods? Cuba's biggest exported goods is cigars. Question 59. Tenerife, Fuerteventura, Gran Canaria, Lanzarote are members of what island group? That's the Canary Islands. Next is question 60. What is the most stolen food in the world? The most stolen food in the world is cheese. Question 61. What do we call a dirty snowball of ice and dust orbiting the Sun? The celestial body often described as a dirty snowball is known as a comet. Question 62. After the Nile, which is the second longest river in Africa? That's the Congo River. Question 63. Which country has the longest coastline in the world? Canada has the longest coastline, measuring approximately 2,080 kilometers or 125,567 miles. Next is question 64. The famous composer Tchaikovsky died of which disease? The The disease is cholera, which Tchaikovsky officially contracted after drinking a glass of unboiled water. Question 65. What substance was historically used to induce unconsciousness in medicine? That's chloroform. Question 66. Which Frankish ruler was crowned Emperor of the Romans by Pope Leo III in the year 800? It's Charlemagne, also known as Charles the Great. Question 67. In chess, which word is derived from Shah-mat from the Arabic for the king is dead? This term is checkmate. And question 68. What do you call a community of nuns living together under monastic vows? They live in a convent. Question 69. Which element has the periodic symbol C? The element is carbon. Question 70. Which Chinese philosopher is associated with teachings recorded in the Analects? The Chinese philosopher is Confucius. Question 71. Which literary character takes his name from the Latin word for nobody? This iconic character is Captain Nemo, whose name was chosen by Jules Verne specifically because Nemo means nobody in Latin. Question 72. Which actor is the nephew of film director Francis Ford Coppola? The actor is Nicolas Cage. And question 73. What common childhood illness is caused by the varicella zoster virus and typically produces an itchy, blister-like rash? The childhood illness is chickenpox. Question 74. What do we call the branch of medicine dealing with the heart and circulatory system? Cardiology is the medical specialty concerned with the heart and circulation. Next is question 75. Which term refers to the study of climate and weather patterns? Climatology is the scientific study of climate and atmospheric trends. Question 76. Which Latin phrase translates to seize the day? The Latin phrase is carpe diem. Question 77. What do you call the person in charge of an orchestra? The person in charge of an orchestra is the conductor. Question 78. What collective noun is used for a group of witches? A group of witches is traditionally called a coven. And question 79. What unit is used to measure the purity of gold, such as 24 carats? The unit is carat. Now, question 80. What do you call someone that makes or repairs wine barrels? That's a cooper. Question 81. What name is given to animals which only eat meat? They are called carnivores. Question 82. What is the transparent front part of the eye that covers the iris and pupil called? That's the cornea. Question 83. What was the first James Bond book written by Ian Fleming? That was Casino Royale. Now it's question 84. What term describes your body's natural 24-hour internal clock? It's called the circadian rhythm. Question 85. In the military, what is the practice of disguising people and vehicles to match the environment called? That is called camouflage. Question 86. What is the most abundant protein in the human body? The abundant protein in the human body is collagen. Question 87. What title does the wife of an earl have? The wife of an earl or count holds the title of countess. Question 88. What was the name of the code of conduct followed by medieval knights? The code of conduct of medieval knights is called chivalry. Question 89. What other common name is given to a rook in chess? A rook in chess is also commonly called a castle. Question 90. In which 1968 film was truly scrumptious a character? That's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Question 91. In the nursery rhyme, Hey Diddle Diddle, what animal jumped over the moon? It was a cow. And question 92. What is the name of both Bill Clinton's daughter and an English football team? They both have the name Chelsea. Next is question 93. Who wrote the children's classic Alice's Adventures in Wonderland? It was written by Lewis Carroll. Question 94. Which instrument belongs to the string family and is held between the knees? The instrument is the cello, a deep voice member of the violin family. Question 95. In biology, what tiny vessels connect arteries with veins? The tiny vessels that connect arteries with veins are capillaries. Now, question 96. What word describes 1/10 of a nautical mile? A cable is the specific term used to define 1/10 of a nautical mile in maritime navigation. Question 97. Which silent movie actor starred in the 1940 film The Great Dictator? The answer is Charlie Chaplin. Question 98. What is the name of the friendly ghost that featured in films and TV series? The friendly ghost was Casper. Nearly there, it's question 99. Lincoln Park, the largest park in Chicago, was used as a what until the 1860s? Originally, it was a cemetery before the city decided to move the graves and transform it into a public park. Question 100. What does the C in UNICEF stand for? The C in UNICEF stands for Children's. That's it, all 100 questions and answers. What was your score? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed today's quiz, please leave a like and consider subscribing. But above all, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next quiz.